music correct bala ñoo duga def yooyu yëpp.
Good afternoon, for the people, by the people. We're at it again, guys. How you doing? And I first need to apologize. We're kind of 30 minutes, 45 minutes late. Sariang is going to be joining us soon. But we're getting ready for the big old town hall meeting right here in Atlanta. Town hall meeting. Usman Manjang ne parena. Alaji Usainu Dabo arrived a couple of days ago. Rohi Malik Lo, my sister, is also here. It's going to be nice here in Atlanta, having a conversation about our country. But before that, 2 years ago, George Sarr, one of our own, passed away. We all know about George, the Gambia Post, his contribution to the struggle. We thought that should be the opening to talk about George. And I have my friend here, Bankamane, who knows George very well. So I pulled him in. And then Yamai Bojang, George's wife, is also here. She's also going to, no sadness here today. We're going to celebrate George. And that's exactly what we are going to do, Banka.
Absolutely.
Ain't that right?
Yes.
Gambia Post.
Yes.
Made a difference.
Ye Post.
Ye Post made a difference.
Yes.
Banka, in celebration, memory of George, what do you have to say, my brother?
No, George Sarr was a special human being. He was the cream of the crop. The best of the best. I never call him George. I call him King George.
Correct.
Because he was a king among his peers. George was a patriot of the highest order.
No sound.
George cared deeply about. They said no sound.
No sound.
Yeah.
Hamang Jabate, no sound. Can you guys hear us? Somebody is saying no sound. Can you give us a Albert? Can you hear us at all? We have sound.
Okay.
So I guess it's Hamang Jabate, the ones having the problem with the sound. Hamang, you gotta work on your stuff. So Banka, as you were saying.
No, as I was saying, look, George, he was I would say the best of the best. Here is a guy who really, from the very start of the struggle, and from the very beginning, at the moment the Ajami took over that country, he stood up and said, I am not going to be part of this. This is not going to happen in my name. And he fought the fight. And he fought the fight the best way he could. Because George, one of the things I loved about him is, you can tell leaders from non-leaders by how they approach issues, understanding for the most part their limitations. George knows what he is good at. He knows what he is not good at. And for the things that he loved and be so good at, those were the areas he only wanted to concentrate in, and he didn't care about anything else. George, so if the moment you say, George, let's fundraising, you lead the fundraising committee, and fundraising, how much that? So George definitely no. So George, what about you be the MC of the? No. How does he have MC? He will totally flat out reject anything that he's not good at. But the things that George is good at, George is the best at.
Definitely.
Which was what? Technology.
Yes.
He mastered technology.
Yes.
You see, Musa, one of the amazing things about this guy was that before Facebook, we had our Facebook.
And it's always important to highlight that.
I need to say that.
Yes.
It's very, very important.
Absolutely.
Before Facebook, we had our Facebook.
Correct.
And I don't know, maybe George could have easily been Mark Zuckerberg of our generation.
Correct.
I don't know what stopped him from taking the next leap forward.
Correct.
But because he was so focused on the Gambia, I guess he got distracted. But George set up what I would call a Facebook of that generation.
Absolutely.
We had our own platform where we go to and post pictures and events and discussions, and just like we do on Facebook now.
Absolutely.
George was, and this was before Facebook was launched in 2004.
Yes.
This was before Facebook.
Way before.
Exactly.
Way before.
So it's amazing that the guy literally, he understood technology so well, and he used it to his advantage to make sure that his people have but before this, we didn't have a platform to go to. People had their angers, their frustrations with what was going on in the Gambia. They didn't know how to express that frustration or even what platform to use. George literally brought all these forces together where they could finally all talk about the issues and strategize together and find a way forward. And this was what the biggest, biggest gift that the struggle could ever have. because we didn't have that.
Mhm.
When George came up with Gambia, because before all this,
It
you
was
had Gambia L.
Yes.
The conversation there was always heated as normal.
Right.
All the issues and
Right.
all whatnot, where
Right.
that's where everybody was discussing.
Right.
But then, because of the disagreements among folks
People,
over there,
yes.
George Sar being
And
George
the
Sar
censoring
decided,
and all
no,
of that
yes,
that was going
George Sar
on.
said, no, I'm not going to be censored.
Exactly.
So he's the Elon Musk of that generation.
Correct.
He said free speech is the ultimate. We want to vap and persero, as he used to put it. Let
Yes.
thoughts fly. You remember him? That's what he used to say.
Yes.
He would say, let thoughts fly.
Yes. Yes.
George set up the Gambia Post
Mhm.
and said, guys, if you want to go to a platform where I don't care what you say, even me, you can come and attack me,
Yes.
and I'm not going to say a word
Right.
because you have a right to whatever
Mhm,
thought
mhm.
you have.
Mhm.
This is the platform I'm going to say it come.
Yes.
And we were all like, okay, are you sure this guy is serious? He's going to set up something like that? And it true to form, he did.
Yes.
When we came to Gambia Post, even myself, I had, he and I were always fighting.
Of course.
George and I will duke it out, we fight, I'll call him every name in the books, but it's as if this platform didn't belong to him because I could say anything and get away with it. So this was George Sar.
Yes.
Not only that, the protests that we started to organize,
Yes.
and this was the incubation point, even
Mhm.
Save the Gambia Democracy Project,
Yes.
that came to play such a critical role in the struggle.
Absolutely.
This is where it was all discussed on this platform.
Mhm.
Protests, was where they were organized.
Mhm.
And George, again, being the technology guy he was,
Right.
he would make sure all the protest materials,
Yes.
anything that needs to be put together, the flyers
Mhm.
and everything were put together.
Absolutely.
And he would also even make his own cardboards and bring them. He was so active.
Mhm.
And I mean, the moment we are organizing, George was always, for me, he was always the first guy I would call.
Correct.
I was like, Kinji, Nagala, no, bro, don't worry, I got you.
Uh-huh.
And he will organize or put together all these things. And on protest day, George would be one of the first people to arrive. So, I mean, I think
Bob Ture, Musajeng and Bankamane, we are all eyes zooming there because of the party leader is within your hood.
well,
And I go, Bob, I want you to look at the background. Tonight, Savannah Event Hell is all yellow now. The entire Atlanta is all yellow.
Tell Bob that they better be nice to me today because your leader is in my domain.
But Banka, coming back to George,
I
remember this was way before Facebook.
Mhm.
You know, we had a website. When you are Washington there,
Yeah, yeah.
our organization here, we had a website. We call it
Yeah.
like Alt Gambia, something like that.
Yeah.
And we got into a fight in the
Yeah.
community,
Yes.
fighting. So Nyun, Mama, Babuka, Sida,
Yeah.
we had rights to that website.
Mhm.
They were angry as hell.
Nyan-
That was the asset. We yanked it.
Dictators.
You know what they did?
Yeah.
They went and got George Sar.
George Sar, the ultimate weapon.
Within a week, the guy was able to put together a website for that.
That's King G.
Babukar Coleman, a website. Who the hell? It was George Sar. The guy was behind the scenes kind of guy. Like you said. And Ajera,
Yeah.
look, man, when we have the July 4th,
Mhm.
I remember.
Mhm.
And again, coming back, this was way before Facebook.
Mhm.
This guy will zoom it.
Yeah.
You can be in England.
Yeah.
The witness. I'm
Not
not
technology.
No,
No,
anybody can organize an event. There is Facebook, there is TikTok,
everything we are doing today,
there
George
is
was doing.
all of that.
Yes.
We were doing that
Yes.
before.
Yes.
Seriously, I still remember at the skating ring.
Yes.
That I made
I
July 4th. You
remember.
On
I
Riverdale.
remember.
And George will bring his cameras,
Yes.
and then in our own way,
Yes.
the July 4th was out there. So
Yes.
you can say, Nate,
Yeah.
the reason why the July 4th was one of the most successful events
Yes.
all over the world
Correct.
is because of the technology that we embrace.
If you remember, when Ajera's under Ajera banner,
Right.
the first July 4th were organized.
Mhm.
I was the one who was in charge of the website. You
Yes,
remember?
yes.
Guess who actually registered the domain? It was George.
Absolutely.
He was when I called Monaco George. We need to register the domain name.
Mhm.
I came up with a name.
Mhm.
Right away, George, within minutes, he registered the domain.
Mhm.
Monaco the hosting the yo different like man, I will not create living.
Correct.
I will host it on my server, and you go in,
Mhm.
you can be making your changes to it, or updating it and do all the maintenance work.
Mhm.
That was George Sar. It was hosted on his server,
Yes.
the first
yes.
Agera website.
Yes.
He
yes.
hosted. He had a server where he was hosting websites.
Yes.
At that time, I'm telling you, this was a time when technology was very young.
Oh, very extremely.
You
young.
know, web hosting,
Yeah,
website development,
absolutely.
you know, this Facebook type kind of a social media platform.
Mhm,
None of these things even existed at that time.
mhm,
George set up all those things at the time.
mhm,
As I said, I think the gunman struggle distracted George.
mhm,
If it wasn't for the struggle,
mhm.
George probably would have been the next Mark Zuckerberg.
Yes.
Because he could have done this.
Absolutely.
Easy.
Absolutely.
He knew technology
Absolutely.
inside out.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
so for me, I mean, not only that, you know, the financial aspect of things, every contribution in this community, whether it's on the political side or
Yes.
on the civic duty side,
Mhm,
George was always there.
mhm,
He would
mhm.
contribute his money to the cause bigly, in my
Mhm.
Donald Trump voice. I mean, this guy literally was the ultimate, I mean, I would say patriot who sacrificed everything
Right.
for this community.
Right.
So I think that when you have somebody like that pass away
Mhm,
or pass on, as we say,
mhm,
he leaves a void that nobody can fill.
Mhm.
Nobody can fill George Sarsus.
mhm,
And I mean nobody.
mhm,
I haven't seen a single Gambian who can fill George Sarsus because of his energy, his
mhm,
vigor,
mhm,
his kindness,
mhm,
his patriotism,
mhm.
his desire for what is right.
Nene,
Um,
oh my God,
yes.
Bankamane is in the building.
Hey, Nene. But you know, you gotta give also credit to his wife.
Mhm. And we will be talking to her very soon.
Absolutely.
Because again, Banka, there's a lot more to, yes, it's George Sar, the Mark Zuckerberg, like you call him.
Mhm.
The man behind the scenes as far as the technology was concerned,
Yeah.
the man behind the scenes. I still remember when we had the political parties here.
Yeah.
And then we had this meeting at Morehouse.
Right.
George was there, and as usual, the
Yeah.
way he gives his speech, in a way, the man was not only an activist,
Yeah.
but a technology genius, if you want to call him that.
He was a
But then
genius.
he was a family man.
Yes.
George, like you say, passed on and left two
Mhm.
kids,
Mhm.
George Elliman and Farmer.
Oh, yeah.
Brilliant kids. Like I
Mhm.
always tell the mom,
Yeah.
always.
Yeah.
Farmer just finished her bachelor's.
Right.
She's now doing a master's degree.
Right.
Georgia's UGA.
Mhm.
And then you have George Elliman, who just started a week ago, 2 weeks ago,
Mhm.
also.
Mhm.
Intelligent kids,
Mhm.
very promising.
Mhm.
Then, of course, there is the wife.
Yeah.
George left a void, but the wife was able to fill that void.
Correct.
In her passion,
Mhm.
as far as he's concerned, is the
Yeah.
kids.
Correct.
And it's definitely paying off. And
Yeah.
we all know also the wife,
Mhm.
an activist in her own right.
Yes.
What
Yeah,
you see
man.
here, this Savannah event hall,
Yeah.
if it wasn't for her bunker, your hamga, yang fion, mang fion,
Yes.
then we would have shut down long time
A
ago.
long time ago.
But again, we're talking about George,
Yeah.
and the wife is here.
Mhm.
We're gonna drag her. Of course, it's not a legi man ko mënuloo wax man maa ko daan tëcc nag xam nga moo nekkoon vice chair of Ajera. I give her all the cues.
Look,
So fi mu nekk mu ngi
yaa
azat
may
boppam.
yaa may mun a daaxal wax téeméeri yoon.
So Banka,
Yes, yeah.
squeeze back a
Let me
little bit.
squeeze a little bit. Yeah, may
And
come
let-
sit in the middle. No, let her come sit in the middle.
Ba pare
Yeah.
and yaa may tey sa tanga nuru tey tanga nuru ajaratu sax.
Ajaratu la di. What is
Tey
it? Tema
moom
nuru
tey
ajaratu.
moom dafa mel ni tanga dem
Ajaratu la. You tell her.
dafa mel ni dafa dem Safa ak Marwa dem Musdalifa. Tanga, you looking good.
Allah.
This day 2 years ago,
Safa bara Muzdalifa yëpp
you
la
lost
wax.
your husband. Clearly. In how are things going? 2 years afterwards.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum salam.
Nuyu naa leen yéen ñëpp seet naa leen ziyaare naa leen. This great platform boo xam ne Sunday ku nekk you have your cup of tea and your donut or whatever your breakfast is, waiting for this program to get started. And so,
Dama ko fàtte woon. Dama bëgg a
I
dem jëli
know,
si
right?
benn donut sax.
So you have this opportunity, being a Sunday, September 1st, to be here really to discuss about or celebrate George Sarr, his freedom. Sant naa Yàlla bu baax, and you have the great Bankamani in Musa Jeng here, Usman Manjang, of course, so we live in Atlanta. So many people. So definitely, I'm blessed and to have a husband that was really awesome, humble, wonderful. I can write a book about him, but anyway.
You need to.
Yeah. just like Nyom Ling mentioned, but just to say hello to everyone. You know, that's so talking about George, I don't even know where to start, where to begin. Nyom, they did say so much about struggle when it started. You know, I cannot even top that. Most of the time, I'll be like, why you being an activist? Yeah, many. And honestly, with that, it almost cost us like maybe the deport Gambia based on that because George have informations with Baisane partner before. Just that we have a call from FBI. I never forget that call and left a message sometime on voicemail. They be like, this is Agent Sullivan. I'll never forget that. I still have those voicemail until, you know, we moved, you know, to the other house and then I lost it. This is Agent Sullivan. Joy Sar, I need you to call me. Left a message. Man, oh my God, nañ pass sun bagage rek ñibi. Xaw ma nak lo def way mu ngok ñu yé dem Banjul ya jamé la rek. That's it. And that's what it is. So we called. I'll be like, you know what do you think I should do, honey? And I go, well, I'm gonna call because why they have your number and have this detail of it, there must be something, information. So fake one in FBI, based on my short knowledgement about law enforcement, and they will come at your door if it's something very serious. Maybe they have some questions, maybe they have something, a complaint that they're following up. Just call them. So we called and I was on the line. So what happened is like, this is Agent Sullivan, this is your name. They verify his information, personal information. We have a call from the president of the Gambia, called Yahya Jammeh, you know, that you're giving out information about his hotel information, stuff like that, details. And those are just basic stuff. America, that's nothing. You give out information for the people to go protest. So Yahya Jammeh need your information, but when we get how you want to feel like who is George Sar? Let me know who is George Sar. But anyway, just to add it to the struggle, what they've been saying, those detailed and personal stuff, Lord Hamne, he probably never discussed it, and it was the family that like, oh my God, what's happened done. But he done a whole lot of stuff, and that happened at the first being here today, and then Uncle Usain Davo always senior for the invite, and all lot of list goes on. Uncle Naka, OJ, you know, Ahmad Bah, all these people. I'm not invite politician, they might make a land what is it in for you? But anyway, whenever for my country, I'll do anything for freedom, sacrifice anything for freedom. If Gambia comes back, you know, together. But anyway, apart from that, definitely he was a family man, he was a loving man, humble, respectful, and care about people. George helped out people without even know. Even career-wise, they help out. And I have a time funeral. A lot of people came like, George helped me. How many IT computers and books with the CD, how expensive they are. George will provide them. Don't worry about it. Just for you to have a good career, and you can feed your family, and you can be able to depend on, you know, the American dreams. It made me try to do that. It's like, I'm not an IT person. I can know just the basic stuff, but let me just stay on the medical field and then be a business person. But anyway, but he was very humble, like I said, in the community. You know, he gave out. I mean, the list goes on. And of course, you will see Facebook Mom. I'm showing him again, Kotogai. You know, George will go. I was like, please, I beg, anything you want me to do, I will do it. Do not take a picture. Do not put it out there, especially the cooking part. We're like, no, don't worry about it, honey. I'm not gonna do it. He will end up doing it. I talk like, oh my God, you have the super. Can you give me some? I'll be like, oh my God, you should not do that. But I'm not crying today because he wants me to keep going. I'm celebrating.
Absolutely. Yes.
I've cried so much being I lost tears, I would say. And then have that the iman and have that belief and have that courage. And the kids are doing whatever they can to try. And have people that love me, care about me, you know, and support me. So absolutely, definitely, I'm blessed. So muno na jël man na George, but bye fi man ma xale. So definitely, at the end of the day, all I have to do is just continue his reigns, continue for me to be who I am, and then always wanted to be who I am and been supportive, you know. So whatever he is, that's how he is.
George Gambia highlight them. Time bubu, samaski, ngeen nekk boy Gambia xay ngeen a
déedéet.
déglu ma de déglu ma de
Go ahead.
déglu ma de
Yes, okay.
so dama bëgg mu wax ma a little bit naka la demee Gambia xay bi still George
No. Naka la George dem jógee Gambia
déglu ma
high
de.
school ba still yaa
boobu
noonu la ba du noonu.
laaj nga ma lu ma neex
affaire bi noonu
laaj
la
nga ma lu
woon
ma neex a tontu nag. We have a history.
ok
Of course,
foofu laa bëgg a dem
we have a history. Of course, we married for 24 years and know him for over 31 years.
Wow.
So loolu du ndaw.
that's a long
Half of
time
my life.
definitely
So George, dekade bi ma gisee li ma expérience maa ngi nekkoon 11 Russell Street. Suma yaay mu ngi amoon there was a shop right there. At the Tonton
Albert Market
Albert
Market.
Albert Market
Is
that's
that what is it?
bata
No,
foofu
like
No,
opposite
Bata.
NNN.
Oh,
bata foofu that
Wow.
roundabout bi
Wow.
Yeah. So I was standing right there. How to call definitely.
Wow.
That's how he looks like.
Mula.
Yeah, who is this girl? When you watch a school.
nga cere
Yeah.
Zero in on you.
So Maromba, hello, Maromba, them. I'll be like, and then that's it. I'm gonna, again, accent collector. And I was like, okay, Gambia High
Why
School.
won't you say bad being in Gambia High School? Would have said like, I would have walked across the street
Yeah,
more by Gambia High.
Sometimes it's just like they're just like funny and they can just easily get any woman they want. I'll be like, okay. And that point,
Yeah.
we never see each other after hello and hi and
Yeah.
but I don't know, for some reason I was, passing by just opposite the embassy.
Would you start Lana?
And I was
Muna,
at Fajara
really?
and War Cemetery. You only gonna be for the jare, to avoid the traffic
Wow.
and all
Right,
that.
right.
People see you. So we just right there.
Right in that
My
neighborhood.
pastor did them. Oh my God, we were sitting with Nyom Esa, Thomas,
Wow.
lot of guys.
Yeah. Wow.
Exactly.
Ñoom ñëpp ay bandi lañu.
Maromba, oh my God, damn, that's the girl that I saw. So he explained that to me. So, Maromba, hello, my sister. Man, excuse me.
Gambia High School people la. Ñoom ñëpp Gambia High
So
School
at
lay
the end
woon.
of the day, like, okay, can I take your number? I was like, no, I don't give out my number. No, what am I like your number? It's my number, like last time, called you. I was like, okay, I give you the number. Keep calling. 2 weeks. You just have been hiding up. It was 1990.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
and we dated for a couple of years, and then he came to the US. So,
Yeah.
for-
So, shifting gears, then fast forward to Texas. Then
Musa,
here,
really?
no.
Man, never Hamud, why is now he's digging up
Fast forward.
all the
Fast
Bye-bye,
forward,
correct?
fast forward. Yaa ngi dem Navarro every July 4th.
every job yaa may ne
Ngeen
bu
dem
dee
ci
Yeah.
mall yi,
Ab-
dem ñëw sol dagisman yi utal si Atlanta. Te Georgia fi woon Atlanta. Fala
No, but
affaire
they are
bi-
what a relationship already. Man. You gotta give
No,
her that.
no, waa xam nga
So
xam
moom
nga-
George moo ko fi tax a indi. No, George moo tax nga ñëw.
Absolutely. You are
So
absolutely
he-
right. Look what Jarmo
So,
Thank you.
ñu dugg ci mall yi, jënd yu baax yi.
Waaw.
Xam nga boobu dagisman moo xew. Yow ba nga remember dagisman. Mooy sipa yu gàtta gàtta yi.
Am na.
Alhaji Musa doo dem.
Boobu Atlanta was the place to come.
The place, yes.
So July 4th boobu nag yaa may naka la.
Now you sound like Mbege.
Well, it's just like a Gambian reunion, definitely all
Right.
Gambian Senegalese, they come.
Mhm.
And they came for the good cause.
Yes.
Helping, Ajera, of course, which I was part of it, still part of it.
Correct.
And George is part of it too, was part of it before. So, I mean, at the
Sëy
end
yiñ
of
fi
the day-
takkee bëri na de.
Waa sëy yiñ fa takkee
Sëy
bari
yiñ
na.
fi takkee
Yeah.
bëri na de.
July 4th.
July
All
4th.
the say
Definitely.
Atlanta, America, quarter be July 4th.
Yeah, woo ma ne takkay sa waaye ñoo xam ne yaa ngi lost contact,
Don't
friends,
talk of them.
families.
Yes. Correct.
And then ñoo xam ne sa xamuloon ne da nga bokk ak ñoom.
Mhm.
They were here too.
Mhm.
So July 4th is still was important and is still important. So
Definitely.
in Atlanta, there's a history for that because July 4th building a lot of good relationship, good family, and then bringing reunion. So
Yeah.
positively.
So yeah, man, the kids are doing well. Like I just said in the intro,
Alhamdulillah.
really absolutely impressed with Farmer. Extremely smart lady.
Yeah.
And then George Element, he just started school a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
For the first time went to University of Georgia.
Mhm.
Just a couple of days ago.
Time is flying, Timothy.
The time
Yeah,
flies.
I
Can you
know.
believe that?
Right, George Element, it's
I mean, it's
Yes.
unbelievable. Mange Fateleku, what story? Oh, it's good that Usman Memphisa.
Yeah.
We had a, what was it?
It was the
Independence celebration.
Yeah, the kids' independence celebration.
So, I'm going George Element of the Rus.
Wow.
You know, so mu ngi woon ci biir hall bi. This was at Ibu Toure's hall.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then George dem ci corner bi noonu rek di fecca nag. Rek Ousmane Mandiang dama kay seen George. I mean, so when I see him now, I mean, how are they doing though? I mean, obviously we all know that they're doing extremely well school-wise. They're making you proud. You know,
Yeah.
I know for a fact, this is what George wanted.
Yes.
Really, I mean, and the fact that it's been fulfilled. I mean, and you should be extremely proud of them, mashallah.
I am proud, and
We all
they
are.
really helped me. You know, definitely. You know, they listen to me, and they know pretty much. I said it's more about what their dad want them to be
Exactly.
and what they want him to do.
Yes.
So they fulfilled that. I
Mhm.
mean, raising a kid is never easy, especially in the middle of summer, almost a semester for
Mhm.
her to graduate.
Mhm.
And his dad was looking forward towards that graduation,
Mhm.
and it never happened. I'd be like, is she gonna drop out? Is she
Mhm.
gonna make it?
Mhm.
And there's some nights that she called me 1, 2 o'clock now, mommy, I cannot.
Mhm.
I have to come back. I keep crying and I keep hunger, you know. Be the mother and be strong and hold all my emotion.
Yeah.
And then you know what? I have to be strong. I gotta do it for Farmer,
Mhm.
for George especially.
Mhm.
George already, I think, knew his life is gonna short.
Mhm.
Let's just say that.
Mhm.
This is his favorite word. Life is too short. Enjoy, honey, while you can.
Correct.
You never know. Enjoy like today is gonna be your last day.
Mhm.
That's why you see him eat all the time, eat good food, go to
Yeah.
restaurants, dress well, have expensive cars, whatever.
With his
Because-
with his
cigar.
the cigar.
Yeah.
Dang ko gis ci highway bi rek boy bi mu ngi dajal la ko nak some kini Pape Diouf
Oh yes.
and then
Which
with
is
the
his
cigar.
favorite.
George,
Which is his favorite.
George, his cigar and his golf.
Absolutely,
That's his life.
Oh
absolutely.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I think after his wife and kids, those are the two that he
Yes.
is committed to.
Yes. You know, I used to work at a golf resort
Yeah.
around Villarica. You
Yeah.
guys
Yes,
ended
you
up
told me that.
actually
Yeah.
living there. I mean,
No, George,
and
cigar and
George,
golf.
no,
Nice.
golf was his life too.
Yeah.
I tried to
Definitely.
let him stay from the cigar, all that. Like, nope, it was just hold it puppet, you know. But back to the kids, and it's tough. It was tough. It's still, you know, it's a struggle,
Mhm.
but they try. And every time I remind them about that, because
Mhm.
there's a good close relationship.
Mhm.
I will advise myself and everybody else:
Mhm.
have a good relationship with your couple, with your partner.
Mhm.
It's very important in your kids. Talk to them,
Mhm.
because at the end of the day,
Mhm.
we don't own ourselves.
Mhm.
We all gonna go one day.
Absolutely.
George was here today. He's
Mhm.
not.
Mhm.
Before George, somebody was here,
Mhm.
and they're gone.
Mhm.
And of course, Allah Subhanahu wa Taala did not tell us when to come to in life in here.
Mhm.
So of course, it's not gonna give us permission to take anybody's life.
Mhm. Mhm.
So in the union, they do tagu. So you did.
Definitely.
So with that, we just plan have that relationship with them. Always prepare every day.
Mhm.
George used to say this, you know, when you're sleeping,
Mhm.
you sleep. You're dead already. You have that
Mhm.
because it's Allah Subhanahu wa Taala is ready to see if you're gonna get up
Mhm.
today
Mhm.
or how your day is gonna go,
Mhm.
and that's it. That's why every time I get up and put my 2 feet on the ground, I be like, Alhamdulillah,
Mhm.
because I could be next or see. But
Mhm.
anyway, the kids they're doing okay, and
Mhm.
they're doing, you know,
Mhm.
they're doing the best they can. That's all
Mhm.
they can. It's never easy,
Mhm.
you know, in life, but there's some bumps in the road, but you bring them back and be strong.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, I mean, and I really want to keep this clip so that we bole the two programs
Yeah.
together, so
Absolutely.
that it will just be
George,
the
the
George
tribute to
clip.
George side.
Understand
Absolutely.
what I mean? And then we can send it around rather than just going the entire 3 hours. So some of our viewers,
Yeah.
I mean, after we're done with this session,
Mhm.
there is obviously going to be the second session
Mhm.
where we will zoom in to the preparation for the town hall,
Yeah.
the United Democratic Party. Like I said, Alaji Usainu is in town, Rohi Malik Low is in town, Sophie Bob Toure, Nyunyo Amefini. We're going to show the whole world that Atlanta, Fila Raibitene. This is how we do business. I hope ne gis nga background bi yellow rek mo fi nek atay. So, but Banka,
Yeah.
I'm sure in closing,
Yeah.
we're definitely going to wrap up about, George. Like you were saying, yes, the technology, George the family man, George the activist.
Yeah.
And no doubt, really, he's at a better place,
Mm-hmm.
no doubt about that.
Absolutely.
And it would have been interesting for George to be here today.
Yeah.
I'm sure that Alaji Usainu will be calling and going to George's house like he always used to do. And I think that he would have added something a lot more, because we were talking earlier, maybe we would have cameras. Instead of sharing this laptop together, George would have put all that twist into it.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Incorporated
He
in
comes
such a
well
way.
prepared.
Oh,
Yes.
Definitely.
He comes with all his equipment.
So
and
we
his
will be
technology and his
zooming this
laptops
whole
and
meeting
everything. Yeah.
to the whole meeting all over the world. But why yal nako yalla xare ajana yamay yalla mela horimuñ. Man, I know you well. We work together.
Yeah.
I've known you for quite a while, and I know that you are a very, very strong lady, definitely. And you are one of the activists. This lady, you heard about this Jana, this big guy Nyaseni.
Wow.
She is one of their top advisors. Seriously.
Send Dairabi.
Treasurer.
Wow.
I'm talking about the big one. Now, Alana Bivini,
Yeah.
they call it Masuru Elmi,
Mhm.
with Biseka being their spiritual leader.
Right.
Kebe is there.
Mhm.
Yamai is in it.
Yeah, that's what
Really.
that's what
Janna,
Yama is all
I'm
about.
talking about Yefi Tariha.
Absolutely.
And at the same time, Ajera, we all know.
Yes.
at one time, she was the vice chair.
Yes.
She's still
Yeah.
a huge
Yeah,
advisor
absolutely.
as far as the program is
Yes,
concerned,
yes,
especially within
yes.
the social committee.
Absolutely.
Like we said too,
Yeah.
there was no way we could have put this savannah together
It's
seriously
not even possible
without her.
without her.
Absolutely no doubt
Yes,
about
yes,
that.
Yes.
So, man, I have tremendous amount of
Father Mose,
respect
there's
for her.
something about Yama, and I always tell her this. If you know Yama just a little bit, one of the most profound characteristics you realize he has, which is quite interesting. He's a tomboy.
Yeah, it's true.
Yama,
Feel like computer ñun.
Yama.
Tabul yi nii.
Let me tell you guys something. This woman here, whatever men can do, she can do. Yeah.
She was competing you with the chair covers.
Oh, yeah,
Do you
man.
remember?
Yama is so competitive,
Very.
and she takes on guys.
Yes.
Yama, if she was allowed to do boxing, she would get into boxing with men. I'm like Yama, but see the tomboy. She's a woman
definitely
who
a
really,
tomboy.
really, really loves to do men stuff.
Exactly.
Anything men can do, Yama
Very
wants to do it to
competitive.
prove to them that
Very, very,
men,
very competitive.
so, so that's just who she is, and I like that about her, because anything she does it with the kind of perfection and precision and the hard work and the kind of ethics that it really deserves, and I'm very impressed about it. She's a perfectionist in that way. When she does something, she wants to make sure that it. Yama can do something over and over and over and over again because she's never satisfied with the product, with the outcome. And I like that, because for me, I'm fana idea or njahlaf. Very sour. You don't sour. You are very, 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 very. Sour.
Yeah.
So definitely. So I think that's very, very impressive. And
So-
George, yes, you are lucky. We are lucky to have him, but he was lucky to have you too, because
Absolutely.
you really complemented each other in that regard. And I think your kids, definitely, I'm looking forward to hearing some big news about them, because I
Thank
know
you.
they will do some big things.
Mashallah,
Yes.
they,
Yeah.
but
yeah,
Banka,
yeah.
Alaji Usman
So-
is here, and Alaji Usman was in the thick of things.
Yeah.
He can say a lot about George.
Yeah.
So, Dama, I'm going to squeeze out and let Usman Manjang, Alaji Usman Manjang, squeeze in. And again, guys,
Come and see
for
you. I think you need to
for
push it
purposes,
back.
he is the president, chairperson. The title is president,
As chairperson.
chairperson of the UDP Atlanta chapter. Usman Taifi Tara du set. But anyway, coming back to George.
Well, thank you very much, Musa. Thank you, Banka, my own sister Yamai. Thank you for the viewers. We saying thanks to all of you for taking your time to be on this wonderful show for the people, by the people. most people may not know me. I'm not that much into when it comes to these technical issues and be active on the social media. But yet still, my name is Alhaji Usman Manjang. I'm a brother to Yamai. And Banker, do you remember when Yamai's wedding and where it took place? We got to go back. We celebrating George Sarr.
Yeah.
It took place at this place, and it was owned by some Taiwanese South Asian people who own the place. Guys. Same
You
place
are
where
right.
this event center
my
is
You know
located.
what? I remember it very
So,
well.
so
Yes,
that's
yes,
where
yes, yes.
Savannah Event
Yeah,
Center is
you
you
know-
located.
told me that before. Yeah, oh
Then
my
what makes
God.
it two events? Kebas Ngente.
Yeah.
Kebas Jeng.
Yeah.
Ngente.
Yeah.
We were here for the
Okay,
party.
Keba Jeng's
you
Gente
told me
and
that.
then
Yeah,
Yama's wedding.
You're right.
Yes.
I remember it very
Yes.
well. I was
So celebrating George Sarr.
here. Yes.
You know, George is just a wonderful person. All that you have said, and, yeah, exactly. All that you have said about George,
Mhm.
Banker, you remember, we all started this thing together. I've been behind the scenes. I've been a quiet, silent contributor.
Correct.
But from Gambia L to G Post, but G Post just overcome Gambia L.
Yeah.
We all know that.
Mhm.
And I am, one of those who have witnessed a lot of private meetings that George
Yeah.
had with political leaders
Correct.
at his house
Yes.
on G Post.
Yeah.
And I transport most of them up there, including Alhaji Hussein Labo.
Right.
So George is just a wonderful, gifted person.
Mhm.
And I bet he is in the heavens smiling at us.
Yes. Absolutely. I agree.
May Allah continue to grant him peace in
Amen.
Jannatul
Amen.
Firdaus
Amen.
as we all pray for him.
Amen.
His loss or his departure, I would not say we don't lose him.
Mhm.
His departure in this community, in this dunya,
Mhm.
is the loss for us.
Correct.
And, in the political arena,
Mhm.
in the media fraternity, George was one of a kind.
Mhm.
He has this gift of God
Mhm.
that, Allah, Alhamdulillah, we should always be thankful.
Mhm.
I'm not surprised what Allah blessed the family, Allah blessed him
Mhm.
with his kids and how much they excel, in their areas of, studies and everything else.
Mhm.
But George was, an exemplary person
Mhm.
that I cannot bring any other Gambian
Correct.
when it comes to the media outage and footing that George contributed towards the salvation of the Gambian people.
Absolutely.
And that's why I said I have to say something.
Mhm.
George being my brother-in-law,
Mhm.
I'm a brother to Yamai and Usman Bojang and others.
Mhm.
And I remember very well, since George knew the linkage,
Mhm.
he gave me that utmost respect.
Right.
Absolutely.
And he hardly even speak when I'm next to him. And sometimes he will tease me like, "Brother Usman, you don't talk, when I'm around you." I said, "No, you're my goro."
Mhm.
And then we kind of tease each other with that respect and
Right.
humility.
Right.
He's so humble.
Mhm.
George is so humble. If you meet him outside, you will never
Yes.
know who he is.
Yes.
He will never
Very
show up
humble guy.
himself.
Yes.
He's down to earth.
Mhm.
He's one of a kind.
Mhm.
And that it being said, is something that's worth celebrate.
Mhm.
And again, I thank you all for the opportunity that you gave me today to be part of this wonderful occasion in celebrating George's departure.
Correct.
And George will continue to pray for him
Mhm.
until the day we meet him in Jannatul Firdaus.
Mhm.
So that's all I have to say about George. I can continue to talk about George
Correct.
endlessly.
Correct.
And this is something we all know.
Yeah.
And we've been there. We've been here together for the longest. And Gambia is a small family.
Very small.
Gambia is
Yeah.
one unique
Mhm.
family,
Mhm.
and we should all understand that.
Mhm.
Once we have that understanding,
Yeah.
everything is going to be a piece of cake for us, and then success will come at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
All right. Again, thank
Thank
you
you.
again,
Thank you.
Banker. Thank you, Musa,
Mhm.
and thank you everyone. And I
Thank
just
you.
give them a reminder that Yamai's wedding was celebrated
It was
here
here.
with
Can
your
you imagine
son's
I
naming
know,
ceremony,
right?
Yes.
Keba's naming ceremony. It was right here.
Right
When-
here in
when
Savannah.
those- yes.
Exactly.
So
Round
no,
your
I'm
Gambia
glad,
paddle.
I'm glad that
Round your paddle. You know,
Savannah, you're gonna make a Gambian
Yeah,
place.
I was just
exactly.
telling them.
Yeah.
Yanga paddle ko bin amé event at Place Ibu Touré.
wow.
And George was a young one.
Yeah, George Junior.
Mu dem nobu
Uh-huh.
di fecca ba nga ñëw.
Exactly. No, I mean, we can talk, like I said, we can talk about George Hart
Yeah.
All day.
endlessly,
Yes.
all day long.
Yeah.
It will never be enough.
Yes.
The guy has done what he's been sent to this dunya for.
Correct.
He has played his role and he played it fully well.
Absolutely.
And we continue to pray for him.
Yeah.
Again, the viewers, I say thank you all for your time, and I really appreciate that to sit here today for the first time to be on this medium. And somebody is here who is has to push me, saying that I'm one of those who can say something. And I think they'll be satisfied the fact that I took that minute of time to be with you all. And again, I thank you all very well. Musa, let me just yield to you.
I think Coach Kanja is on the line. Coach,
Mankamane.
man mala adde da nga lucky dama la gis
No, I'm in fact, sir. Yama yata sama duga de because man dama gis ni yen ñaar sen affaire safuma. Why
Mane,
why yama thank you.
xam nga man sax man la na ma neex ci affaire bi yëpp Fatou Camara daf ma gis ni ma waay yow Moussa Dieng yow
you look far better than
yow
Coach.
you look far better man
You look
kii
far younger than
kii
Coach.
lu moo nekk la wax ne yow màgget
no
nga
wa bobu def man na xari because
Mane.
ma ne ko maa ngi nii de man nii
lii rek la am pour tontu nit ñi de dem leen ngeen Google YouTube ngeen déglu woy coon si ka boobu what sikkim wati mustache naan dangay boylu and I think that's a total description of key. Why Moose?
waaw
I know you guys today is the second anniversary of the passing of George Sarr. And Lolo Tamane, I have to jump in real quick to say something.
absolutely
There is a saying, some people will tell you that life is transient. That's what they say. I have a different view. I believe that a life well lived is not transient. And a life well lived is not based on what you did for yourself, but a life that is lived in the benefit of a community. And George has been in the spotlight because so have George most time when we play soccer. Dafa mënoon a xajaan nag. So he's wow. So
goalkeeper la won Senegal den score goal yu bari I mean ci mom
no, he was a midfield player. More playing nawetan. Serekunda West.
Post tamit de. He was a goalkeeper.
So he played soccer. He was good. But you will know because I'm going George rek si bopam. Hajan Katla, with his cigar and all that stuff, playing golf and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, what he did for country was all of Nelu Soti and Boramde.
Dëgg
Why there was a time where what we are doing, what is so fashionable thing, was not so fashionable.
did it
It was a very lonely process.
ñi nga man nga ka moy de
And an expensive one at that most.
yes
And what George was able to do, he had knowledge that was not very common then. Because those that were tech savvy were very, very minimal. A lot of us, the Musajangs, didn't even know how to use email. But here was George who had knowledge and used it in the advancements of a struggle to liberate a people.
Correct.
And that's what he did. So, to me, people like the George Sars, the Pandirimbais, and all these departed souls who gave everything for Gambia, expecting nothing in return, are the unsung heroes of our country. And to Yamai and the kids, be comforted by the fact that when your husband and the kid's father is remembered, he would be remembered for a selfless man who gave selfless service for the liberation of a people who were subjugated for too long. Because Gambia Post, if that did not happen, I don't think we would have talked about the online medias that helped in liberating our country. So they were traced. George was a pace setter.
He was a pioneer.
A pioneer who did everything for country. So Brother George continued to rest in eternal peace. And the struggle that we all were part of continues unabated. because the Gambia that we want has still not been realized. And we shall not rest until that Gambia is realized. With that, I thank you guys. Thank you very, very much. And I hope you guys would have a wonderful show. Yeah, my take heart. You are a dignified person, a wonderful human being. Definitely. Yeah, we can abundum lawa. You know,
thank
and
you. Appreciate now.
because this struggle, Sibopam, yeah, my a lot of people lost families.
Yeah.
It took a toll. Taylor is direct. You nekk di xas nit ñi di saaga nit ñi and all that, but it took a toll on people. You had limited time, very limited time for your family. All the other time was invested in fighting for a country.
Absolutely.
And it took people like yourself to be that support system, to be able to help us to achieve the victory that we've achieved today.
Correct.
And we'll continue to fight until ñun ñëpp become happy for the Gambia that we'll be living in or leaving behind. Well, with that, I thank you very much. Gerald and Jeff, guys.
Thank you so
Pap
much,
Samba, Pap Samba.
for taking the time.
Yes.
Waxati nga dëgg.
to, you know,
Sila deka.
something about George. Definitely, yéen a si nekkoon mën na la see bañ a fekk. Waaye comme liñ dee wax rek, ñoo xam ne ñu bëgg a wax sax xëy na bari na o ñu ma xool bari na. Imam sax mu ngi ma just text ne mu ngi ko jàngal Kamil, you know, in closing. So a lot of people. So this is something that I have for him. Bëgg naa man tam suma demee ni ñi fàttaliku ma. En ñaan rek mooy moomun yëpp. But thank you, Pasamba.
Akasa. Gerald and Jeff. Gerald and Jeff.
So, Coach, what we are going to do more than there's a new sign out, just so that Bidafaneka is so of itself, and then we will sign back in to talk about the politics and the preparation for the town hall. So that's how.
All right, Uncle Musa. But I think you have the munga ko def together, right? Because
Mr. Red Meat. So if you
who call my name bank and I'm very angry. Red meat.
yeah, danko def ñu naan fum fi touch. I mean, kid this man. But anyway, we shall talk, guys.
All right, man.
All right.
So yeah, man. So non-Lankoli, just so that we'll have this clip. I mean, you know, by itself. And so viewers, we are going to be back. Normally we don't operate like that, but we will be back. Sariang will be here. We're going to be talking to we're going to talk about the preparations. Usman Manjang, Natamas, they'll break down the preparation and how things are going to look tonight. Again, tune out, but tune back in again in a little bit. All right, guys, thank you very much.
Well,
Thank
I
you
wanted
very
to
much.
take the opportunity to thank the viewers really for taking the time. And I see my mom was there too.
Oh,
I didn't know
really?
my mom watched it.
Oh, really?
People.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Your mom? Oh,
Yes, I just saw it.
they
coming.
are, really?
I saw it coming.
Wow. Okay.
I
Oh,
saw
wow.
it there.
Oh, beautiful,
So,
beautiful.
But anyway, and I thank you for the people, by the people, you know, for giving me this platform, the opportunity really to talk about George and celebrate him. And absolutely, Mr. Jeng, Pasam,
Banka.
Joe, Bankamani, and the whole crew. So thank you. May Allah bless you and reward you with your family.
Absolutely.
Long life, inshallah.
Thank you.
Thank you much. All right. Then, guys, again, we will be right back in the
Usman
next
Manyang, of course.
30, 45 minutes. All right. Thank you much. All right, Banka.
Usman Manyang nga xam ne duy wax.